Hi everyone, I'm Leslie, and I travel the world looking for everything different, unique, and the more off the beaten path, the better. Currently, we're on Royal Caribbean's ultimate world cruise, circumnavigating the globe over 9 months. We left in December last year, and we just left the port of Dubrovnik in Croatia. And it was so incredibly beautiful and medieval there. It's hard to imagine what could be next. However, our captain on board the Serenade warns us that on our way into the Bay of Kotor in Montenegro, our next stop, to be on our balconies or up on the deck, because our approach into the bay is like nothing you can imagine. It is so beautiful. Let's just run out on the deck and embrace our welcome to the Bay of Kotor in Montenegro. Y'all, get ready for this. Like, really? Did I call that wrong? Did I oversell that? I don't think so. So first, before we jump into Montenegro and the Bay of Kotor and everything this incredible day brought us, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for being here. I know your time is valuable. You could be anywhere right now and you're here with me on this journey, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the journey. Back to Montenegro. Montenegro is a Balkan country with rugged mountains, medieval villages, and a narrow strip of beaches along its Adriatic coastline. So it's into the Bay of Kotor that you see these rugged mountains on each side, this breathtaking view of what looks like almost fjord-like. It is breathtaking. In fact, the bay is considered one of the most beautiful bays in all of Europe. The last time I was here, we went across to see Our Lady of the Rocks Church. I'll show you on our sail away. This time in Montenegro, we did not go over there to see it, so I have some video from when I was here in 2019. Kotor is a medieval town with a vibrant history. Walking through its labyrinth of narrow and cobblestone streets, you'll come across lively piazzas, many ancient churches, and lots of bars and restaurants. Be sure to not miss the St. Tryphon Cathedral, the Church of St. Luke, and the Orthodox St. Nicholas Church. Kotor is locked between the blue sea on one side and a dramatically steep cliff on the other. Today, and our stop on the Ultimate World Cruise, we are anchored in the bay and we tender over to the town of Kotor. So if you're not familiar with tender, the cruise ship actually sits in the water and they drop the tender boats. Everybody gets into individual tender boats. They hold like 50 people, I think. And then the tender takes you over to land. These tenders have been very unpredictable, let's say, on the world cruise. And they can be, because they are highly restrictive if there's any type of movement in the water, waves, weather issues. They obviously don't want you in a little boat, and they also don't want to get you to land and then not be able to get you back to the cruise ship. So today was a beautiful, clear day that we got across with no problem. We get to the Kotor, and instead of touring the old town, which I did last time, I'll show you pictures of that, we have two incredible things planned in Kotor today. One is to hike. So do you see that? Do you see that wall? I'm a huge hiker. I love the outdoors. I hike all over everywhere on the West Coast in the United States. And I haven't been hiking on the cruise since we've been on, seeing cities and excursions. So I'm super excited to hike today. And I'm super excited to hike to the fort, to see this area, to see the view, to see the bay in this way. Yep, that's the hike we're gonna take today. It's about a 3.5-mile hike straight up to the Kotor Fortress, and it's amazing views. 280 meters up on the top of the mountain is the San Giovanni Castle, the fortification system of the city. Behind the castle hill, the inhabitable and the mountainous countryside extends on beyond what the eyes can see. At one point on the hike, there are windows in the old fortress on the mountainside, so you can actually see down to see this rugged mountain and up on the mountainside. And then on the right is the whole cliff edge down into the bay and the water and the cruise ship. Absolutely the coolest, one of the coolest hikes I've done. Ouch. So if you're a hiker, outdoorsy, you probably use all trails or research these trails before you do these hikes. And online it says moderate. For a hiker, I would agree it's probably moderate. If you're not a hiker, I will tell you 3.5 miles, of which, obviously half of that is up. And it's significant, so you want to be sure to bring your water, lots of steps up. It's a significant hike, so be prepared if that's your plan. We did it.
We did it.
You can tell by Roy's shirt we are hot. It is hot and humid and sweaty, but oh, it's beautiful. We're back. There is a 15 euro per person fee to take the hike. There is a man and a little turnstile to collect your fee. To get to the hike, you go through the city and in the medieval city walls, and then there is a sign at the base of the hike that directs you up. If you go early, and by early I mean like 5 a.m.-ish, you probably can avoid paying the fee to hike, but expect that there to be a 15 euro per person. For a girl that does tons of hiking, the thought of paying to hike I've paid for permits to be in areas, that kind of thing, but to actually pay for a hike seems like bonkers to me. But this hike is in an area that they're having to keep. It's the old city wall. It's deteriorating, so I can appreciate the maintenance required on it. And regardless of all of that, the hike and the views are worth every single cent. So highly recommended, fee or otherwise. Some indications suggest that this fortification or hill fort might have existed at the site of Kotor Fortress at the top of the hill of St. John already in prehistoric time. What? So many of these places we've been in the world, I think I am stepping on ground where gladiators stepped, where, you know, like Egyptians back in pyramid building time have stepped. And here in the Bay of Kotor, like, this is, in some people's opinion, this fortress has been here since prehistoric time. So information provided by Constantine VII indicated that there was a lower town of Kotor in 867, obviously indicating that there also was an upper town of Kotor. During the rule of the Venetian Republic, 1420 through 1797, the Kotor Fortress was one of the most important fortifications on the eastern Adriatic coast. So my heart is full. We did the hike, and if all we did in the Bay of Kotor was hike the fortress, I would have just been so complete and had such a beautiful day. But that's not all we did. Y'all, that is not all we did. Where are all my cat lovers? Montenegro and the Bay of Kotor is known for cats. And I know you're thinking, cats? Like what? Let me tell you about the cats. So Kotor and cats are like Tom and Jerry. You'll see tons of cats in Montenegro. Like Venice, Kotor had a problem with rampant mice, rats, and snakes. So thankfully, importing these cats, the cats were happily willing to deal with these mice and rats and snakes. Go figure. Soon the city became a thriving trading port. Because of this, the cat started to become a symbol of good luck. Aww. So I wonder if anyone watching this video has a cat that has any kind of name that's associated with luck. Like Charm, Lucky, Felice, which literally means happy and lucky. Like Penny, like a lucky penny. Or Bonaventure, which translates to good fortune. Chance, Felix, meaning fortunate or happy. Tadashi from Japan, it translates not only to lucky, but also to devotion and true. Or Venturo, the Spanish translation of good fortune or good luck. Clover, aww. If you have a cat and you named him some version of Lucky, I would love for you to put that in the comment. Totally random, I know, but I'm an animal lover in general, so I had to mention the cats. They are all over. Little figurines in the shops. You see the cats in the old town. You see them, we saw them on the hike. They are everywhere. And so I felt super lucky leaving that hike, actually. Next up, we're going to a wine bar. Not just any old wine bar, not going into the old city walls and sitting down in a wine bar. This is a floating wine bar. I have been communicating with the owner of Kraken for months to ensure that we spend the afternoon with him, and I am so glad I did. These two brothers started Kraken in 2017 after reading about shipwrecks that had been found with wine bottles that had been perfectly preserved and the wine was excellent quality. They began thinking, wait, there might be an idea here. when they first placed 200 bottles in the sea and left them there for 1 year. They didn't really have high expectations about the wine changing or improving its taste. After that year, they pulled the wine bottles out and they met with the sommelier, and they were shocked at the quality of the wine, the taste of the wine, and just what they were able to accomplish in that year. And so then they start thinking, what if we put a floating platform in the Bay of Kotor, drop these wine bottles in, and open a floating wine bar? The wine was more refined. You could taste and smell more aromas and flavors. From 2018 to 2020, they did research with different kinds of wines, and by the end of 2020, they decided to patent their idea for the technology. With a lot of positive feedback from the community, they decided to present their wines to the public. Their goal was to represent Montenegro and give people an incredible, unique Montenegro wine experience. They hit that bull's eye right in the center. I'm not a sommelier. I'm not really even a wine person. I love wine, but I don't know. So I'm not going to properly pronounce these, but I'll put the names of them on the screen. An ancient Montenegrin variety which originates from southern Croatia, Montenegrin Vrenic. They also have a Muscat white. It's hard to know the age and origin of Muscat, but in some books they can see that it started in ancient Egypt and Persia, and from there it moved to the Mediterranean. So Giorgio, one of the brothers, is who I had been speaking with and coordinating our day. He knows a guy who would pick us up in the city, right at the city wall, and bring us out to the floating wine bar. We have our experience, and then the guy drives us back. You have to climb down from the highway, basically, down to the water's edge, and then the brothers bring a motorized boat over to the shore, pick us up, take us back to the wine bar. We had prepaid and ordered shrimp and mussels and clams and some bruschetta. And I had super low expectations for the food. I just wanted to make sure we ate if we were gonna drink, and the food was delicious. Wait until you see what he prepared for us and how he prepared it.
And it was outrageous. Richard Mulligan was on it. For him.
So was the other guy, the other brother that had the...
they have these wine bottles stored 25 feet below in the water in Kotor. He pulls them right up in a plastic crate.
Woohoo! Because you have a different...
Cracks them open and pours us these beautiful wines to try.
That's what happens when you jump in very, very cold water.
Pulls up crates of mussels.
If you need anything else, just tell us. Okay.
No, there. Birthday boy gets whatever he wants.
I know what birthday boy wants.
You can spend as much time as you want out there, jump into the water.
Well, she's 25. Well, she's accurate. She's accurate. Let me stand up. Oh, God. All I gotta do is stand up. Oh, do something about it.
Mine only happens when I walk down the stairs at home.
It's all covered, but obviously, you know, you're out in the water, so to just cool off. What an incredible experience. What a brilliant idea, first of all. Regardless of storing the wine in the bay, just having a floating wine bar is brilliant. The wine was delicious. The food was delicious. He was so hospitable, wanted to make sure we were super comfortable, had what we needed. Just a great way to spend the afternoon. And we had a blast. We loved the day. Universally, everyone loved the wines. And when you're ready, you just jump right in the boat and he'll take you back to shore.
Super cool idea. Good job with this place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
and then our driver was there waiting for us to take us back into the city. Such a cool, perfect afternoon. Loved, loved, loved it. Kraken Floating Wine Bar. I'll put all of their information in the caption. So what a beautiful day in the Bay of Kotor. As I said, when I was here in 2019, we went to Our Lady of the Rocks, and as we sail out, I'll tell you about that as we sail right by her. And we also went into the old, within the city walls, there's shops and restaurants and churches, as I said. So lots to do here. Just visually, it's stunning. Beautiful cruise ship stop and a beautiful land stop from when I was here in 2019. Just a beautiful stop and a beautiful day. My heart is so full.
This is a video. Okay. This is gonna wind up on some online Instagram type thing.
How great was our day today?
Our day was pretty good, all due to your planning. Sometimes you overplan, but today you planned just right.
Beautiful hike, and then a floating wine bar that was made in Montenegro. Thank you, Montenegro. We love you.
I've had several people on my Dubrovnik video ask me for the Excel spreadsheet that I use to travel and break down all of our ports, when we arrived, the weather, all of our excursions, all of my notes, and I emailed it out to everyone that asked. So if you were on the Dubrovnik video and asked for the Excel spreadsheet, check your email, check your spam folder. And if you're watching today and you're wondering, what is this travel Excel spreadsheet she's talking about? Please send me an email at pointmysoulnorth@gmail.com and I will email it back to you. It saved my life on 9 months around the world. So I'm more than happy to send it to you. Just email me, pointmysoulnorth@gmail.com. Back to Montenegro. Our Lady of the Rocks is the largest building on the islet here. According to legend, the islet was made over centuries by local seamen who kept an ancient oath after finding the icon of Madonna and Child on the rock in the sea on July 22nd, 1452. Upon returning from each of their successful voyages, they would lay a rock in the bay. Over time, the islet gradually emerged from the sea. The custom of throwing rocks into the sea is alive even nowadays. Every year on the sunset of the 22nd of July, local residents take their boats and throw rocks into the sea, widening the surface of the island. The church was renovated in 1722 and has a museum attached to it. There's also a small gift shop close to the church and a navigation light at the northern end of the islet. You can catch a boat from Persat or Kotor to get to the island. It's about €10 round trip. We did the Our Lady of Rocks Church when I was here in 2019. We took that boat over. It's a sweet little church, the museum, the shop there. It's a great place to not only see that and be on this islet, but it's also beautiful to just see the view back into the bay. If you have time, €10 round trip on the boat. It's a cool little kind of back and forth excursion. I wouldn't plan, I wouldn't do a tour of it. I wouldn't plan a special excursion of it. Just grab one of the boats from the town. You'll see them. €10 back and forth. That's all you need.
So the captain just announced that we're going to the narrowest passage in Montenegro and that there's there's 2 islands in the middle of the peninsula here. We're going to be turning left, and when we pass them, one of the islands is man-made, and it's piles of rocks that the locals have piled up. And the second one has a church on it, and it's the Church of Seafarers, I believe he said. So when we pass it, it's traditional to do 3 long horn bursts to give tribute to the island and everyone that has sailed through here.
So difficult to say goodbye to Croatia, and now to see Montenegro on our way out. It's just such a beautiful, Croatia's such a beautiful country. Montenegro just topped that. Just a beautiful series of stops here. If you haven't watched my video on Zadar, Split, or Dubrovnik in Croatia, go back and watch them. It's definitely not to be missed. If you have the opportunity to go to Slovenia or Croatia or Montenegro, absolutely say yes and go. Honestly, if you're offered the opportunity to go anywhere in the world, just say yes. The world is an incredible, big, beautiful place, and it's welcoming you and waiting for you. Just go. But of course, we have to say goodbye to Montenegro. So sad, because we had such an incredible day here with our friends, with our new friends on the floating island. Saw such a beautiful area of it, just a really, really special visit. But next up is Valletta, Malta. And it will unequivocally, absolutely, without a doubt, blow your mind. And I know that I sold Montenegro as being absolutely incredible, and it didn't disappoint. I bet you agree, it did not disappoint. But Valletta, Malta, I haven't stopped thinking about Valletta since we left in July. This is a good segue to be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you're notified of when I post the Valletta video. As always, thank you so much for being here, part of this journey with me. If you've been to Croatia or Montenegro or this part of the world, I would love to hear about it. Please put your comments. I love the comments. I love you being part of this journey with me. So until Valletta, bye for now.